Hi, and welcome back to Football Made Simple.
Arsenal is making slow and steady progress under Mikel Arteta, and having come close to Champions League qualification, they'll be looking to take the next step this season. With increased competition from Ten Hag's United, and sides like Leicester unlikely to be as poor as they were last season, this video identifies 3 players in 3 positions who could come into the 11 to improve Arsenal. Let's take a look. Arsenal are already heavily linked to Gabriel Jesus and Yuri Tielemans, both of whom would be excellent signings and won't be included in this video to give some variety. The 3 areas will be defensive midfield, central midfield, and centre forward. And for each, we'll have an honourable mention, a prime option, and a gold option, or runner-up. We'll begin in defensive midfield. Our honourable mention comes out of Borussia Mönchengladbach, and it's none other than Kone, who is more of a central midfielder but has still shown the potential to develop into a defensive midfielder. Our gold option, however, is Maxence Caqueret out of Lyon. Caqueret has already enjoyed a great season and has excelled in a deeper position. He can play slightly higher as an 8 or as a defensive midfielder, particularly if he's in a double pivot as he was this season. Arteta will particularly enjoy Caqueret's in-possession play, where his calm head in high-pressure situations allows great decision-making. He has great close control, which makes him press resistant, and in fact, he's in the top 8% for dribbles completed by a player in his position, and also has decent progressive carry numbers. But Caqueret is also an excellent passer. From deeper positions, he can use his excellent vision and penetrative passes to find men between the lines, with his 5 progressive passes per game being in the top 20%. Defensively, he is a workhorse, and the reason he's usually in a double pivot is because he's very front foot, looking to apply pressure early. So his partner needs to cover for him. And he does have more pressures per game than 95% of midfielders. His tackle and interception numbers are also highly effective, as he's always patrolling the midfield to snuff out danger. The disadvantage is it's yet to be confirmed if he can play as the sole pivot, which is what Arteta prefers, but there's always the chance that he can adapt his game. He has recently renewed his contract, however, he's still an interesting and potentially gettable option. Our prime option is none other than Leicester's Wilfred Ndidi. Defensively, there's no question that he can operate as a single pivot, using his intelligent positioning and telescopic legs to patrol the defense and stop any promising attacks. He's very proactive, looking to stop attackers turning to face the goal, with his almost 24 pressures per game being in the 86th percentile. He also consistently puts up incredible defensive numbers, in the 99th percentile for tackles and the 91st percentile for interceptions. The major problem with Ndidi as a single pivot is his in-possession performance. At Leicester, Rodgers limits how involved Ndidi is in the build-up play, as he is fairly limited on the ball, so he's very low for attempted passes, progressive carries. So, if Ndidi is the defensive midfielder, you probably need another midfielder to drop in alongside him in the build-up phase to do the progression. In addition, Leicester are likely to demand a high transfer fee. Now onto the midfield, where we'll be looking for somebody to play in a more box-to-box or free 8 role. The honourable mention is Leipzig's Konrad Laimer, who has a year left on his contract. But our gold option is Gerson, who has been excelling at Jorge Sampaoli's Marseille. In possession, Gerson is perfect for Arteta's current system, as he has been playing as a free 8. He can operate in deeper areas, picking up the ball and spreading the play, and he's particularly adept at picking up the ball in deeper regions and pushing the team higher up the pitch, with 5.1 progressive carries per game. But in possession, in line with Arteta's current system, when Marseille are on the ball, he pushes extremely high up to operate in the half space. So he's more of a receiver of progressive passes than the one making the passes himself. And from here, Gerson can create for others on his left foot. However, what's particularly impressive about him is that he's a goal threat, often taking on shots from range or even after dribbling into the box. He's currently valued at £20 million on transfer market, and 25 is a decent age. But the prime option is another left-footed option, Lovro Mayer. Mayer is definitely a more attacking option, who excels in the half spaces. He doesn't tend to get too involved in the build-up play, instead staying higher up on the pitch to receive progressive passes. Much like Gerson though, when he does receive deep, he's excellent at progressively carrying the ball up the pitch to help the team move up, using his close control. Higher up, Mayer does tend to drift wider at times to help facilitate overloads and allow intricate link-up play. But what's particularly exciting about him though is his creativity. He tends to play on the right hand side, so moving in on his left foot means that the whole pitch opens up for him to potentially slip teammates in, with his 4.27 shot creating actions per 90 putting him in the top 1% for midfielders. He's also a goal threat, not afraid to shoot from range. All this means he's in the 97th percentile or better for expected goals, expected assists, as well as key passes per 90. Defensively, he is a great presser due to his team's style. But in more settled defense, he can be more vulnerable. At 24, Maya is a great age. However, one disadvantage is that he, like Martin Odegaard, operates on the right hand side of a midfield 3, so one of these two would have to adapt their game to play on the left, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. The final position is centre forward, which is a tricky one. Skamaka would have been an option, but he's heavily linked to PSG. Schick is exciting, but recently renewed his contract. Osimhen is similarly interesting, but would cost an arm and a leg. One option is Lyon's Moussa Dembele. Dembele is more of a traditional forward, who at times is comfortable holding up play with his back to goal, as he receives plenty of progressive passes. This could be advantageous for Arteta's side, as he can provide a focal point particularly higher up. However, this is not to say he is a back to goal forward, as he also enjoys running in behind high lines, which can come in handy on counter-attacking situations. In 21-22, he also excelled in the finishing department, using his excellent movement to find space to finish. His 0.74 goals per 90 is particularly impressive, given that he is not massively overperforming his expected goals. At 25, he is a great age and has less than a year left on his contract, meaning Lyon would be willing to do business. However, his recent loan to Atletico Madrid went so poorly that many fans would be wary of signing him. The prime suggestion is slightly left field. It's Barcelona's Memphis Depay. Barcelona already have a decent number of forwards and are going in for Lewandowski as well. On top of that, their ever-changing financial situation means that they may be willing to sell. Depay is an excellent player, and in deep positions he can look to run in behind high lines as he has decent pace. And perhaps to Arteta's liking, Depay also gets involved in the build-up play, often dropping deep to assist it, and as a result, having a high number of touches. This does mean at times high up, he vacates the centre forward role, and this could work, particularly as he tends to drift left and Martinelli loves to run from out to in on the left hand side. So these movements would be interesting as they could create space for each other. And when he does receive deep, Depay is an excellent creator for his teammates, looking to feed runners in behind, so he has impressive key pass and expected assist numbers. On top of that, Depay is a decent finisher, but a disadvantage is his shot selection, as he often shoots from improbable distance. Depay is older, but as he is not overly dependent on pace, I believe he could age well, and his link-up play could be perfect for Arteta. In addition, he has less than a year left on his contract, although there are rumours of a renewal. These are just a few of the suggestions I believe could take Arsenal to the next level. If Tielemans or Jesus were brought in alongside or instead of these, Arsenal would have the makings of a great young side. But what do you make of these suggestions? Drop yours down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you might enjoy the content available on my Patreon. Not only does Patreon help to support the continued production of content, as I am a one-man team, but it also gives you early access to videos that will come on the channel. You'll also get exclusive videos, get to vote on polls, and so much more. And it's cheaper than ever, no longer having a tier system, so everyone on the Patreon gets access to all the content. So head over to patreon.com/footballmadesimple to check it out. And a special thanks to my patrons, including Andrei Wojcik.
But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.